Hi guys, it's Debbie. Today I have my tea and I figured I'd do some cooking, so I'm going to make some yogurt, homemade vanilla yogurt. So in here I have two quarts of whole milk heating up, and I want to heat that to about 180 degrees just before the boiling point. I have my trusty thermometer here that I'll read that. And when it comes up to that temperature, you want to let it kind of stew there, just about the simmer point, for 3 or 4 minutes, or your yogurt's going to be like stringy and gooey and all that. So that extra heating time gives the proteins a little time to break down more. So when that heats up, we'll add some of the other ingredients, which are, for every 2 quarts of milk, you need about a cup of non-fat dry milk. Just to boost the protein, I like my yogurt thick, so that will help with that also. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Add about a tablespoon or so of unflavored gelatin. 1/3 of a cup of sugar, and then my starter yogurt, plain organic live culture yogurt. And you want to make sure when you buy your yogurt as a starter that you want the live cultures in there. So when this heats up, I will come back and show you what's next. So I'm at 187 or 189 now degrees. I'm going to shut my burner off, and I'm just going to stir this around a little bit. We're going to keep this right at this temperature for a little bit, hopefully to break up some of those proteins a little more. I'll take my thermometer out. At this point, you want to add your non-fat dry milk, just to make sure it combines very well with the liquid milk. You don't want any globules. Actually, I'm going to switch to a whisk at this point. You just want to whisk that in. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. I don't have my cameraman today, so. Okay, that's fully whisked in. I'm going to take it off of the heat. Just bring it over to the side here. We'll let it cool down just a touch. At this point, I'm going to add in my 1/3 of a cup of sugar. And I'll whisk that in as well. Okay, now what we're going to do, I've added just a splash of milk into, cold milk, into my measuring cup. And I'm going to dissolve this gelatin in there. You don't want to use the hot milk because it'll turn into a big globby mess. And you'll have little globs of gelatin in your milk, in your yogurt, and that won't taste good at all. So just mix this up really good until you think it's combined a little bit. Then what we'll do is we'll mix it into the hot milk. I need to do a towel when I'm one-handed stirring. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to pour it into our warm milk. Really quick, whisk it, whisk it, whisk it. That way you don't get any globs in your yogurt. This will really thicken it up though. I think it's an important step when you add the gelatin and the non-fat dry milk. Not only does it boost the protein of the yogurt, but it also makes it a thicker, like custardy style yogurt versus a thin, runny one. My first batch was delicious, but it was more like a Danimal, yogurt. You could drink it. It was so thin. eventually I'd like to get into doing Greek yogurt. That's my favorite. That's like eating a dessert. So we're going to let this cool here on the stove, or you can even put it up on a cooling rack for about an hour. You want it to come down to about 110 degrees. And then we're going to mix in our starter yogurt and our vanilla. So I'll come back when we're ready to do that. Okay, so our milk has come down to 110. Actually, it's 109 now. So I'll just turn this off and take the lid out. And to this, we want to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and the yogurt. You always need a starter. If you save some of the yogurt that you make here, then you won't have to buy a starter. We ate it all, so I had to buy one. Alright, so you just blend this in. Ooh, it smells really good now. Mix it so it's very well blended. Okay, so here I have 2 jars that have been sterilized, just regular mason jars. I'm going to ladle this in. Okay, so our yogurt mixture is poured into our mason jars. I'm just going to cover these up. Oh, this threaded here. There we go. And I'm going to transfer them onto a towel. So this is just a grow box that we have for our seedlings that we started. So what you want to do is just wrap this up in a towel. I have it under the heat light. Well, it's not really a heat light, it's a grow light, but it's just warm enough to keep it warm. And all those little bacteria will have a party in there. And in about 6 to 8 hours, we're going to have yogurt. So you just wrap it up nice and tight in a draft-free environment. I'll put this down. It'll stay just warm enough to let it do its thing, bacteria to grow and multiply and all that stuff. It's been about almost 7 hours, and I took the yogurt out of the little cabinet I had it in. You can put this in your oven too with the just the light on to keep the heat up. And here's our yogurt. It looks like it thickened up really good, so let's check and see how the consistency is. So here it is. Oh, that's much better. It's still a little gooey, but it's definitely thicker than my last batch. I think I'm going to try to cook it even a little longer next time. But it's nice and thick. I don't know if you guys can see that. And this is just the vanilla and sugar. If you wanted to, you could add jams or even like a preserve in here to flavor it. It's a good experiment. It's definitely cheaper than buying yogurt at the market. And it tastes really good. Oh yeah, that's good. Much better. So I hope this helps, and we'll stick this in the fridge, and I bet you it'll firm up even more. Got 2 quarts of vanilla yogurt for about $3. So it's much cheaper than the market. And this is all natural. There's no preservatives or anything in it. And, you know, it's better to make stuff on your own. That way you know what's in it. There's no unpronounceables in there. So I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments if you've tried it and if you like it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.